So, we're going to be playing Garrosh, but we're going to be talking about Garrosh as a viable tank in the game. In the form of solo versus engage, disengage, and all the nuances. So where do we want to start?
Commencing in 10 seconds.
Well, we can talk about a couple different things as far as what people look for in an engage.
Yeah, just an intake in general.
Yes. So a tank, a tank engage. Now, people, that's what they're looking for on any form of map. You know, not necessarily in tank, but in any character. An engage is always a very clear point that the team rallies around as a go sign, whether it's a verbal or a ping or just even the skill recognition. There's very obvious ones for tanks. The most recent, obviously, being Varian with his taunt.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. Taunt, it's a very big visual. You see that they say taunted over it.
And a very intense lockdown capability. Because the power of taunt, though, I don't think comes from just taunt being strong, but also the way that Variant's kit makes taunt viable. You know? Like in Variant's place, like the ability of taunt is that it pairs so well with his
with his heroic charges.
with his heroic, and then his passive, and then his the parry, like doing more damage because of the parries, and just all of that synergy gives him that much more consistency.
On my way.
Oh my god, I'm dying. Pokemon is real.
Yeah, and then you look at the other, bruiser heroes. Warrior, sorry. Let me go warrior.
Yeah, you're
So you look at
gotta
them.
look at him.
Yeah, I'll just go down the list of things. So you look at them overall. I'll just kind of go down the list of what's classified as the warrior heroes. You've got Anubarak, Atranus, Arthas, Chen, Cho, Dahaka, Diablo, Diva, ETC, Garrosh, Johanna, Leoric, Muradin,
Right.
Rexar, Sonya, Stitches, Tyrael, Varian, Sonya.
And now of those that are solo tanks, you basically have Muradin and Nubarak sometimes. Then you have Johanna, ETC.
Which is true.
So
You can also include Artanis on that. I mean,
Somewhat.
he's got a very
I would say
clear he's got a
in,
very clear engage as far as that sort of comes.
but
This
it's
is where
not
people-
consistent.
Correct. I mean, Murden's is technically not consistent either. I mean,
True.
and same for Stitches.
I guess the idea of consistency
Stitches is
is-
straight up. It's and Stitches
up
like
for debate.
the hook. Land the hook. There's your engage. You don't land the hook. You either play
escape.
around the cooldown or you do something else. So anything else. So when it comes to those tanks and people trying to determine if Garrosh is viable, is that he doesn't have what could be considered medium to long range in the form of an engage.
Yeah, he doesn't
That's
have
when
like
you look
a
at
bro
all those-
charge.
Right, a Nubarak.
Or Stitch's hook.
Bro charge, Artanage, Stitch's hook. Yeah, everything that can be considered definitely more than 3 or 4 units away that can clearly outline an opening. But then, that's not necessarily needed. You can catch someone in a rotation. You can have all those things if you have someone who's got a stun or a root or anything else, and that might work. You look at anything, even in the ways of supports or assassins or anything else that has that. You catch someone out in the rotation, and you land very obvious solo queue Malfurion route. You catch an assassin in one of those routes in a rotation, everyone knows to go in. That's not their role.
Right.
You can walk right up to them and do it. So
I kind of the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking that because of
if you're trying to isolate him,
the way that
in
his trait works for Garrosh specifically makes him much more of a solo tank. Because he can be there, and because most tanks, they have trouble soaking damage, right? They can get burst down, especially like a Nubrak now. He's been at the top for so long, but then they, tweak his health pool to make his spell armor matter more. And Cat. So they make that more of a defining characteristic of the character by doing it that way.
Yeah. And that's what it certainly comes down to, is that in a solo, isolated thing, when trying to compare different tanks to each other's, what are their kind of metrics for a quote solo tank? It's survivability, engage, disengage.
Yep.
Obviously, check mark on survivability.
Yep. He's probably got one of the most survivable tanks other than Varian, if not more so, for effective HP. And just because of the way his trait works too, it makes him more effective against auto attackers versus like a Nubrak who's good against burst damage dealers. So that's important too. Everyone has their role.
Mm-hmm. That's what the positives and negatives we've seen for anybody. I mean, obviously, the recent re-rise of Chen, and obviously the then curtailing of his trait was due to the fact that people were looking at things from a different angle. Chen was never really
because they
and then he fell
gave
off
him the
because
burst
people
amount of brew to give him more flexibility when needed.
Correct. So, you look at what people considered immediate high priority picks. They switch because with what people are looking for. Yes, obviously when a champion comes out, they have clearly defined inflated values, but there are, when Varian was first released, even now he's still pretty, high contested. But then as people learn to play around
his
very clear form of engage and what he brings
and his sustain on top of that, because normally he has maybe 1 to 2 charges or 2 to 3 charges of his parry.
Which you can almost say then the byproduct of the rise of Anubarak in looking at his ultimate. Obviously they tuned his swarm damage originally high, and people just knew, just burrow in AoE and do what you're going to do. But then, obviously, with high priority isolation in Cocoon, you could almost say that could be
another adaptation, because now people are getting used to you playing against Cocoon.
Yeah, and so people are learning, when it first came out, yes, there's damage there, but also the surprise of you could be mid-fight and then wait for that to come out, and you can isolate some pure damage, or a healer, or a tank, Franklin. So, the fights that evolve when you're playing with or around Cocoon, like I said, it could be derivative of Varian's presence.
Because now you see like
either want
ETC coming up too again.
Correct, because again, you're looking for potentially either displacement or.
I get that. Even brings up Stitches, the most unlikely of all the tanks to rise to prominence. Because the slam build, he makes him have insane damage.
Yeah, slam build makes him very tanky. Then
he already has highest. I think he has the highest base HP besides Cho'Gall. So right there, another ridiculous form of damage output.
Oh, that just landed. Yeah.
There we go. It's full team wipe. Minus Artanis wherever he went. But yeah. And you kind of like, if you look at the math on how like the armor works in this game, you want to have like 50% HP at all times. And if you go above or below that, it kind of starts to fall off. And it kind of just makes sense just how the character's played, and how all these like damage negations kind of work. And your doggos are borking like crazy.
Yep. Well, the windows open. They're outside. So
oh, okay. They just hear noises and just like, yay.
Yep.
I gotta send you a picture yesterday, or earlier today. My brother sent me a text say, dogs that, or if your dog could text.
Oh, I love those. Those are hilarious. I've definitely watched several photos, etc. of those.
It was hilarious to hear those. Nice brute. Should be able to get, yes. Just defend. What else is there? The
Killing spree.
the one thing I do think about Garrosh that they got right is all of his talent trees, most of his like main talent spots don't feel like must picks. You know how, like most characters kind of fall into their own like meta build?
Yeah.
A lot of his tiers feel very situational. You know, it's like, okay, what does the enemy team have? Does it have X, Y, or Z? Build accordingly.
Going to pull back for now.
Let me get some mana.
Yeah.
Back in 1 second.
All good. So far this game has been going, it was a little rough to start. Or we have no healer. We have no healer.
Once we got ult, kind of turned everything around.
Yeah. You're able to get engages that we wanted. That's taunt down. And Butcher, I think, got his armor. Dang.
And that time,
Raphael
yeah.
killed me. It's all good. We got another full team wipe. So, as you can see there, like, Garrosh, a lot of people thought that the AoE taunt for Garrosh was going to be amazing. Which is, I'm not diminishing it at all, in any sense, but for what Garrosh does really well, he has the engage, but the more slows you can pile onto Garrosh, the better he performs. So in my opinion, that Decimate is amazing, and it allows you to spam it somewhat. And if you're standing an entire team that's grouped up, it allows you just to allow your friendly team to just be that more consistent with all of its skill shots. Let's group top and just push that, because we have everything in our favor right now.
Alright.
Because I even thought that Warlord's Challenge was going to be absolutely broken, but I personally think that Decimate is probably the better ult overall. I got an armor up. I might be dead here. Nope.
I'll set up yet.
I'm good. He's got reduced healing.
Alright, snare at him.
Oh, she's mid-leap!
There we go.
Flying medic through the air.
Mega kill.
That's another mega kill within 2 minutes. Gonna do mortal combo. Steal their camp. So we're basically destroying these guys in a team fight now because they're really well. They have a medic as their support, so they're very dependent on being.
Uh-oh.
This might be bad.
Really low.
It's okay. If you gotta leave me, you gotta leave me. I understand. I can heal. It's slow. Uh-oh, I'm dead now.
No. Run upward. Oh,
No.
shit. Oh, I was too slow.
Vol came in with the...
Little dashes.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna be able to finish that a lot faster than we did.
Look at them skulls.
Yeah, our team did the right thing in that one. I just thought we'd take the opportunity. Wow, I've died 7 times. Garrosh feed. But, I'm trying to think of other things that I've noticed from the tank meta lately. I guess it kind of falls into line with, like Stukov. Even though he hasn't really changed much yet, I think he shows a direction in his shift of how they want to play with supports.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, wait, I was kind of in focus mode. I was like, wait a
I'm
second.
trying to think of other things that stand out in his talent tree. While also having body check as like a level 1 talent that is built into his kit, that feels like an extra button that they wanted to put in his kit but didn't want to make it guaranteed. I think it's really cool.
Body block?
Body check.
Body check.
Yeah. Body block.
That's
That's funny. You have your
I was
owl,
thinking.
your hootie hoo.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm
Follows
just
like
waiting for
auto mana
my
right
turn.
here. Medic
There's a
though.
healer. Oh shit! Get up.
Wow,
But
you got flipped.
I was like, I don't know why you haven't used it. I was like, holy shit.
Triple kill.
Oh, we have a Colossus Smash variant. I'm so used to thinking variant just goes taunt that it's just like second nature for me to assume that they do. We might be able to change this into the win.
Falls. A glorious more bones. Double kill.
Oh, there we go. GG.
And this Nova said we were gonna lose. She said GG. Also, New Butcher is amazing. Everyone thought he was gonna be dumpster tier. He's amazing. Side note, also hint hint nudge nudge new video coming soon. TM.
Oh yeah.